watch out. Jalen Brunson is radioactive for how many times he's gone nuclear game to game to game. And he finished with 43 points, his fourth straight 40-point game. I think it was like his fifth straight game his sixth straight game with 38 or 36 or more. He's averaging the most points per game in the playoffs. He is the most important part of the Knicks' success in series to series so far. And he will take them, in my opinion, as far as he can go, as far as the weight of the team can go. And I don't mean to undermine the rest of the guys, right? The second tier guys that are right below him, Dante DiVincenzo finished with 25 points. Josh Hart, he's been fantastic. 24 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, and a block. OG Anunoby and Hartenstein also contributed with their 13 points and their usual impact on the defense that they bring. But Jalen Brunson is the key, obviously, as he is the superstar, but he is the key to this entire success story. If he doesn't score and go nuclear game in and game out, can the Knicks really keep up with the rest of the teams that are going against them, including this fast-paced Pacers team?
No, and it was weird in this first game. The Knicks were like, you know what, we're going to run with you. We're going to play your offense, and we're going to do it better than you, and we're going to beat you. And Jalen Brunson went nuclear, but you can't rely on him to do that for the next 10 or 12 games that they're going to have to win to win a championship. And maybe that's not the goal for them this year, but when you're playing 40 minutes, 42 minutes, you know what I mean? Like when you're playing all these minutes, they're only bringing like 2 or 3 guys off the bench for 6 to 8 minute stretches. You're playing against the Pacers that want to run the shit out of the ball in spite of their defense.
Yep.
I just think it was impressive what they could do in game one, running with them. I think they need to slow it down these next couple of games, which may seem like
absolutely
the opposite of what you should do because they just won. But the other thing here, man, the whole key to that game one is Tyrese Halliburton with 6 points. Pacers aren't winning shit if Tyrese Halliburton only scores 6 points. This is his second game. The second game in this the playoffs where he's just kind of no-showed. And the fact of the matter is when we're talking about high-level players in the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton's like probably top 3 worst defender out of the high-end players. You know, you got him, you got Luka, and, you know, whoever else you might talk about. But just they get targeted. They're terrible defenders, which is weird because Tyrese is long and athletic and lanky, and he should be able to be a better defender. If he's not scoring, he's an absolute liability on the court. He can't play defense. You're only scoring 6 points, and now you're passing the buck off to Pascal Siakam to try to carry the load. It's just not going to work. So it was probably, again, they play here in an hour and 20 minutes. So all this we're talking about, if they come out and blow the doors off the Knicks in this game too, this might all just be for naught. But he's got to show up because if he doesn't, Brunson has shown that he's going to continue to do this. I don't really like the offense they're running at the moment, the whole 1-4 flat thing, and they're just letting Brunson hit his shots. That's great while it's working, but what's going to happen if it stops? So I'm actually super interested in this series. It's super exciting to me. A couple of different ways it can go. It looks like a couple of the other series are already wrapped up. So this one's kind of fun to keep tabs on.
Yeah, not only did Halliburton just score 6 points, but he only had 6 field goal attempts in 36 minutes that he played. And especially on a series opening that's really important in a game this close, you want him to take more shots. He was quoted as saying, it's not easy, but obviously I erred on the side of playmaking this day. He was recorded with 8 assists, and that wasn't the right decision for me, so I still got to be who I am. Halliburton emerged as one of the best point guards in the NBA this season, right? 20.1 points per game, leading the league in assists, 10.9 during the regular season. But those numbers have dipped to 16 points per game and 9 assists in the first round win over the Bucks in the first playoff series for Halliburton's career. He's dealing with a back issue currently right now, and he's listed as questionable as his second straight game. He's going to be cleared. He's going to go ahead and he's going to play, right? And Tom Thibodeau is using Dante DiVincenzo as the primary defender on Halliburton and is not allowing him to really get a whole lot of shots up, but you have to draw up something for Halliburton to get him going. This isn't a guy that you just go, hey, like he's just not going to be in our game plan this day. Like, oh, whoops, that's just how it is. Like he's your perennial,
heart,
like
soul,
he's like,
blood.
he's everything for you guys. Like he's your potential all NBA second, third team guy, you know, that he's supposed to be the dude.
We're also
Like,
talking about a player that doesn't have a ton of experience playing late into the playoffs, though. And
yeah, absolutely.
you would hope that the nature of his conditioning and stuff would be there, but with a back injury, and we know everything in the regular season, he played when he probably shouldn't have because he was trying to get to that 65 game mark to qualify for some of the end of the year awards.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
who knows exactly how healthy he is, but it's the same thing. We're gonna talk about this stuff regardless of health, because if he's not healthy, if he can only provide 6 points and 8 assists and 6 shots, they're not going to do shit against the Knicks. There's no chance.
Yeah.
And
And
I
Pacers
want to
like,
see the Pacers succeed. It's just, but it's not going to happen the way game one went.
and they are going to get a little push as Mitchell Robinson will most likely be out for the rest of the NBA playoffs. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, be reevaluated in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, they got a 7-man rotation in New York now because of that. It's
Yep.
just.
And so for the rest of the series, I need to see Halliburton to be a scorer and a playmaker. If you're one of the best 6 point guards, 7 point guards in the league today, you need to put this team on your back. And I understand maybe it's a little weird having a back injury and saying on your back, but you need to push through this and you need to be more. That's at the end of the day. And some of this does come down to the coaching as well, needing to draw up things for Halliburton to be able to get going, succeed, let him drive to the basket, call up plays to make sure that he's being successful. For the Knicks, just like Drew was saying, I need to see the Knicks slow down the Pacers, who play faster than almost anybody else in the league. And the Knicks play slower than almost everybody else in the league. So they're on the polar opposites on the scales. And I need to see the Knicks slow down. They need to play elite transition defense to make the Pacers pay for playing quickly. They need to make them play and go, hey, we can't just throw the ball, chuck it down the court. We can't just let TJ McConnell steal it, toss it to Halliburton, toss it to Siakam, and then all of a sudden it's a drive in. So we need to slow it down for them. Forget the offensive boards, focus on the transition. That's what I need to see from the Knicks to have a successful series, not just a couple of points difference in game to game to game. I'd love to see it as an NBA fan just because of being able to watch exciting games, obviously. And this was exciting for more than just the reasons of the competition. I think I would be remiss, and if any Knicks fans got in the comment section of this video, I think they would be a little bit angry not mentioning, or sorry, not Knicks fans, but Pacers fans getting in the comment section. They'd be a little angry us not mentioning the officiating down the stretch. The last 2-minute report confirms that there were 4 missed calls down the stretch of the game. A lot of touch and go things. Like in the middle of the game,
I'm so sick of that 2-minute report. I wish they'd get rid of that shit.
Yeah. Big thing that came about, there was the kickball on Aaron Naismith, which he hit the ball with his hand, not his foot. The crew chief, Zach Zarba, admitted that the call was botched, and more importantly, that a kickball violation is not reviewable. Which at this point, if we're making all this stuff reviewable, why not just make that reviewable as well? What could be easier, quicker to review whether a ball was kicked or it was a hand? Why even have the replay in general? It's either you get rid of this whole replay stuff and the challenges, or you make it reviewable, everything reviewable. It's a bad call, right? And it's not a very good rule, and it cost Pacers big time because not only did they have to transition possession taken away from, which was a clear steal in a tie game, so 12 seconds later, Dante DiVincenzo proved to be the game-winning three-pointer. So, not the best officiating in this game, and I know Pacers fans are going to be pretty upset, so they can hang their hat on a little bit of bad officiating. We played decently. Halliburton didn't play his best game. Some of the stuff I was just going over with some of the listeners was I need to see the Knicks slow down. Same thing you said. And then I just need to see Halliburton become a scorer and a playmaker at the same time. So that's what I need to see out of both these teams to be successful in this series.
I'm just so sick of the conversation regarding the officiating. Like, I hate the 2-minute report because it doesn't change anything. Like, no. The Kings and Celtics played a game down the stretch where at the last second of the game, the ball came off the rim and Colby Jones went to tip it back in and he got slapped in his face and there was a no call. 100% a foul. He should have went to the line and won the game, and it's a no call. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, he should have gone to the line. What the hell's the point? It doesn't change anything. Like, the last 2-minute report, originally it was for like transparency and efficiency, but all we've learned is that the officials suck and they can't get the calls right. And so it's just like, I don't know. I'm so over the officiating thing. Like, It's proven that it is going to be not consistent game after game. One game, these guys are mugging each other, and then the second game comes on prime time, and it's every touch foul is called. The stuff that James Harden has done for years. It's just it's exhausting. Like turning on a basketball game and not knowing game to game what kind of consistency you're going to get from the officials, and it sucks. Especially like I saw this tweet from a Pacers fan, and he had like 9 bulletin points. You know, the kickball thing, and then the off the ball foul, and then there was a couple other ones.
Yeah, like the touch foul, or whatever, screen shit.
Yeah, the Brunson foul, and then Tyrese hits a shot that doesn't count, and I'm just like, you know, I can't sit here and say that I've watched like a ton of Cavaliers basketball this year. You know what I mean? I watch my team. I watch what's on the the primetime stuff. I watch a ton of the Pacers because of Halliburton. I watch a ton of the Celtics because of you. But it just seems like every game there's a gripe. And not even just like, I know fans will complain about the officiating, but like a legitimate gripe about something that happened in crunch time of the game that wasn't called correctly. And it's just like, Jesus, we're going to continue to do this. And I can't even sit there and say, hey, shut up. Like you're complaining about the refs too much. Most of the time they're like legit. And I guess that's what makes it even more frustrating to watch the players complain, because it's like deep down, every time you watch LeBron like oversell being touched, and you're just like, geez, dude, like that's a bunch of drama. Well, look to the last 10 times he went to the basket where he got slapped in the face and in his arms and it wasn't called. Like it's just, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't want to turn this into a podcast complaining about the officiating because they're not going to do anything about it. But we don't need to have a great series between the Pacers and Knicks dissolve into bullshit over the officiating. I just don't want to see that.